It is the most important position in hockey. Every play starts with these guys, the centers. Today, I'll be ranking my top 10 centers in the NHL in 2026. Full disclosure, before I begin this ranking, there are two players that I did not include in this list who you may expect to be here. One is easier to explain than the other. First, I chose not to include Alexander Barkov this year. He didn't play a single game last season, and it just didn't feel fair to have him in here over these 10 guys who were all active last year. But if I had to have Barkov on the list, he'd be in the top 5 for sure. I also chose not to include Jack Hughes. For Hughes, I believe this deserves more of an explanation. I am an American, and Jack Hughes did score the golden goal in Italy, for which I am eternally grateful. His skill is undeniable, he's consistently a point per game, and his 98% wins above replacement is great. But Jack Hughes is the physical embodiment of the phrase, the best ability is availability. Alexander Barkov was out last season. Jack Hughes misses time every season. He has not played a full season in his 7-year career to this point. He's only played more than 62 games once. When Hughes is on the ice, he's not what you might consider a franchise center. His faceoff percentage is laughable, and he's possibly the least physical player in the NHL. The point is, this is a ranking of the top 10 centers in the NHL, not the top 10 players who play center in the NHL. If I were to choose 10 players who I'd like to build a team around, and those 10 players had to play center, I would not choose Jack Hughes. If Hughes makes the full-time switch to wing, as he did for the Olympics, he may be in my top 10 wingers list next summer. Just wanted to include that at the beginning of this video because I know if you got to the end of the video and those two guys weren't in it, I would definitely get some comments about it. And I probably still will anyways. Now, kicking it off with number 10 from the Winnipeg Jets, Mark Scheifele. Mark Scheifele had a career year at 33 years old. With 67 assists and 103 points, he and Kyle Connor continue to be one of the best duos in the NHL. What holds Scheifele back is his 0% even strength defense and his face-off percentage, although much better than Hughes. But if it's any consolation, I would have had him on Team Canada. Number 9 from the St. Louis Blues, Robert Thomas. Now, Thomas makes the list this year in part because Barkov and Hughes aren't on my list, but also because of his consistent offensive numbers, his defensive play, his skills in the face-off dot, and his 98% wins above replacement. It feels like Robert Thomas has been around so much longer than he has because he won the Stanley Cup in his rookie season, but he's still just 27 years old. It'll be cool to see what he and Jimmy Snuggerud can do again this season, and the Blues are definitely right in not trading him away. Number 8 from the Toronto Maple Leafs, Austin Matthews. The Leafs captain had a rough 2025-26 season. He finished below a point per game for the first time since his rookie season, and his shooting percentage was lower than it's ever been. But while his goal scoring was down, Matthews affects the game in many other ways. Last season, Matthews ranked 4th amongst all centers in blocked shots, despite missing more than 20 games, and was 5th in face-off win percentage amongst centers who took at least 500 draws. In each of those statistics, he's number 1 above all of the other 9 players on this list. His 99% wins above replacement is also 4th amongst the players in this ranking. If Matthews can stay healthy, he'll be back up higher on this list next summer. Number 7 from the Vegas Golden Knights, Jack Eichel. Jack Eichel has had the time of his life playing in Vegas. Over the last 4 years with the Knights, Eichel has averaged 93 points per 82 games played and put up 65 points in 62 playoff games, reaching the Stanley Cup final twice and winning it once. Last season, Eichel led Vegas by a healthy margin with 90 points in 74 games and pitched in another 22 points in 22 playoff games. One of the few penalty killers on this list, Eichel's all-around game, smooth puck skills, and poise earn him the number 7 spot. Number 6 from the New York Rangers, JT Miller. The captain of the New York Rangers, JT Miller is one of the best two-way forwards and one of the best teammates in the league. Vancouver fans, you know what I'm talking about. Miller had a down year last year offensively, but he was 2nd amongst all centers in face-off win percentage. And, okay, that's enough. The real number 6 from the Pittsburgh Penguins, Sidney Crosby. Sid the Kid has still got it. The best player of his generation, Crosby is still putting up memorable seasons into his late 30s, averaging over 100 points per season over a 21-year career is absolutely unbelievable. There really aren't any critiques I can make to Sid's game. He's not putting up 100-plus point seasons anymore like the guys above him on this list, but he's 39. He's still above a point per game. He's one of the best face-off takers in the game. He's one of the strongest players I've ever seen. He's still throwing hits. He's still playing over 19 minutes a game, and he even put up 5 points in 6 playoff games last season. Until he decides to hang him up, Sid the Kid is still one of the best players in the National Hockey League. Number 5, from the Montreal Canadiens, Nick Suzuki. He just keeps getting better. Nick Suzuki has steadily improved in each of his 7 seasons since entering the league with Montreal. As he does every year, Suzuki put up career-high numbers last season, 72 assists and 101 points in 82 games. Speaking of 82 games, he's played 82 games in each of the last 5 seasons. In 2020-2021, he was one of only 2 Montreal Canadiens to play all 56 games that season. He's put in the reps, and they've paid off. He drives Montreal's offense while also playing an elite defensive game. He blocks shots, wins face-offs, and doesn't take a lot of penalties. Nick Suzuki does it all. And in 2026, he was recognized for that as he took home his first Selke Trophy, awarded to the top defensive forward in the NHL. The now 27-year-old Suzuki and his young Montreal Canadiens club are just getting started. Number 4, from the San Jose Sharks, Macklin Celebrini. The now 20-year-old phenom decided that the sophomore slump simply wasn't going to look good on him. At 19 years old, the 2024 first overall pick finished 7th in the entire NHL in goal scoring and 4th in points, only behind future Hall of Famers and Hart Trophy winners Nathan MacKinnon, Nikita Kucherov, and Connor McDavid. Speaking of the Hart Trophy, awarded to the player deemed most valuable to his team, Celebrini finished 4th in voting for that honor as well. Just how valuable was Celebrini to the Sharks last season? He scored 21 more goals and 56 more points than his next closest teammate. That is one of the largest gaps in NHL history by a guy not named Lemieux or Gretzky, up there with the likes of Paul Kariya, Steve Yzerman, and Joe Sakic. He's a generational player and worth every penny of that brand new contract of his. He'll be a name I'll be going over on this list for the next decade or two. Number 3, from the Edmonton Oilers, Leon Draisaitl. The Robin to McDavid's Batman, Leon Draisaitl is just as cemented in that top tier of superstar talents. One of the top goal scorers in the NHL, over the last 8 years, Draisaitl has averaged 50 goals per 82 games. He scored at a nearly 1.5 per game pace in the playoffs as well. One of just 3 players on this list with a perfect 100% wins above replacement, Draisaitl is a dominant force on the ice and in the faceoff circle. The first of the 2 Edmonton Oilers on this list comes in at number 3. Number 2, from the Colorado Avalanche, Nathan MacKinnon. Nathan MacKinnon is a beast. When he puts his head down and gets his feet moving, he's an unstoppable force. He combines speed and strength with his elite hands and shot. Coming off his second highest scoring season of his career thus far, MacKinnon has put up over 110 points in the last 4 consecutive seasons, with 140 points in 104 career playoff games. He's also finished top 5 in Hart Trophy voting 7 times in the last 9 years, and is the second player on this list with a 100% wins above replacement. But unfortunately for MacKinnon, he plays within the same generation as the guy at the top of this ranking. Number 1, from the Edmonton Oilers, Connor McDavid. Now this is where I get to take some time to gas up the best hockey player in the world. Connor McDavid is the definition of a generational franchise player. Following an injury-shortened rookie season back in 2015-16, McDavid has scored 100 points or more every season over the last 10 years, except one, the COVID-shortened 2019-20 season, in which he scored 97 points in just 64 games. As one of just 5 players in NHL history to finish with 100 assists in a single season, it's safe to say McDavid is known for his playmaking. But when he decides it's time to pot one himself, he can score with the best of them. Since entering the league in 2015, No one has put up more points than Connor McDavid. With 1,220 points and less than 800 career games, he holds a nearly 200-point lead ahead of the second highest scoring player in that time span. That second-place player? His teammate, Leon Draisaitl. Only 4 players have scored more goals than McDavid since 2015. Of those 4 goal scorers, 3 of them haven't put up more than 500 assists in that time. Only 1 has reached the 600 assist mark. Once again, Leon Draisaitl. Connor McDavid, 811 assists. What's even more impressive is how he doesn't rely on the power play to score goals. In McDavid's career, only 24% of his total goals have been scored on the power play. That percentage is lower than Leon Draisaitl, Nathan MacKinnon, David Pastrnak, Nikita Kucherov, and Austin Matthews. He's not all show during the regular season either. He scored 156 points in 102 career playoff games and is one of only 6 players in NHL history to win playoff MVP despite not winning the Stanley Cup. Still at just 29 years old, McDavid could play all game long, and the Oilers let him. Averaging just about 23 minutes per game last season, no forward in the National Hockey League played more minutes than Connor. Connor McDavid is a living legend, and we are lucky to be able to witness him play the game of hockey year in and year out. And there you have it. My 5th and final positional ranking of the summer is complete. If you missed any of my previous videos ranking the top wingers, defensemen, and goaltenders in the NHL, the links to those videos will be in the description. I have a few more fun ranking videos planned. Those will be out sometime in the near future. But until then, as always, thank you all for watching, and take care.